Hey everyone, welcome to Age and Education channel. Today, let us continue with the topic soil. Types of soil. What are the types of soil? There are different types of soil based on how much sand, silt and clay they contain. Okay. One type of soil is sandy soil. In this soil, it's like whatever soil, whatever differentiation I'm saying, that will be mostly of texture. Okay, texture and water retention capacity, all these will be there. Okay, so we will see about the types of soils under this lens: texture, water retention capacity and ability to support the plants and all that. Okay, what it feels like. Sandy soil. Sandy soil means you can even simply say it to be sand. Okay, clay soil means you can simply say clay. Silt, that's also fine. Gritty, what is about sandy soil? It feels like gritty, that is particles are bigger than the silty soil and doesn't hold water well. See, when there are bigger particles, the water can easily get down, right? Can seep down. So there is no way that these soils can hold water properly, right? So where can you find this type of soil? It will be near beaches and deserts. What are the examples? Coconut trees grow well in these soils. Okay. Next, clay soil. What it feels like? Particles are of fine size and the soil is sticky when wet and smooth when dry. It holds water very well but can be heavy. Okay. Cereals grow in such soil. Where do you find it? In areas that hold water like riverbeds. Okay, here the particles are of fine size, here bigger. Okay, and the soil here is smooth and sticky when wet, and here you won't feel like the soil won't be any sticky or something like that, because it has bigger particles and so it can't even hold the water well. And how about the silty soil, also called as silt? It feels like size of the particles are in between the sandy soil and the clay soil. It means that in sandy soil, as I said, if you consider the particles to be like this, okay, in clay soil you can find it to be like this, and the size of these particles would be somewhere in between these. Okay, so here what happens? The soil will be smooth and soft and holds water better than sandy soil, right? Obvious, right? Bigger the particles, less the water retention capacity. Okay, it's because they will be big like this and there will be more gaps, because they won't be perfect rounds, so that these particles won't fit perfectly without giving any gap, right? They will be of different shapes, not I won't say this one, but you can find that there will be so many gaps with the bigger, when the size is bigger, you can find so many gaps and water can easily seep through. Okay, so silty soil, as I said, as the particles will be in between these two, their water retention capacity will be higher than sandy soil, but it will be lower than the clay soil. Okay, now if I have to arrange this, like if they say arrange these in decreasing order or increasing order, something like that. So let me take the decreasing order of water retention capacity. Okay, what comes higher in water retention capacity? Tell me. Clay soil, right? Then comes silty soil, then comes sandy soil. Okay, decreasing order of what? Water retention. Now if they ask decreasing order of particle size, then it's the other way around, right? So what comes first? Sandy. Next comes what? Next? Silty, right? And then comes clay. So this is the decreasing order of what? Decreasing order of particle size. Okay, now there is one more soil. What is it? Loamy soil. What it feels like? It's a mix of sand, silt and clay, making it great for growing plants. It's rich and holds water well. Where you find it? In the gardens and farmland. There will be some other soils too. Okay, you will learn in higher classes like black soil, red soil. Okay, so you can know more about soils in your higher classes. Why is soil important? Because it supports plant growth. Soil provides plants with nutrients, water, and support they need to grow. Habitat for creatures. What is it? Habitat means home. Some important things I keep on saying, repeating. Okay, don't think that I'm just repeating. It's because I want these concepts to stay in your mind forever, so that when you go to higher classes, you need not think like some concepts will be easier for you if you know some words. Okay, for that reason, I'm repeating most of the things that are important. Many animals like worms, insects, and burrowing mammals live on the soil. Okay, so soil also provide habitat for these sort of creatures. Filters water. Soil helps clean and filter water as it moves through the ground. Okay, as the water moves down, okay, because of the particle size, as I said, the sand particles will be of some size, clay particles will be of some size, and when the water goes through all the layers of the soil, it gets filtered. Stores nutrients. Soil stores essential nutrients that plants needs to grow. What are some of the nutrients I have mentioned in the last class? NPK, do you remember that? This is so important. Okay, N means nitrogen, phosphorus, P means phosphorus, K means potassium. Okay, these are so important for the plants. Okay. Now, so soil also stores essential nutrients. One thing I just missed in the last class was that I just wanted to give you this chart. Okay, I said that soil has some elements, right? Air, water, humus, and rocks. And if I have to divide, as if you think, if you consider this to be the whole, okay, I can divide this into half. Okay, this half has air and water, and this half has rocks or minerals, that means inorganic components, and also humus, organic components. Okay, so if I have to say that half will be air and half will be water. These are just approximate figures. Okay, and in this half, what you can find, a little bit of humus. Okay, teeny tiny bit, around 5 to 10% max. Okay, that will be of humus, and the rest of it rocks or inorganic components. Okay, this I have missed in the last class, so just note it down. Next important topic is soil erosion and soil conservation. Soil erosion is when the top layer of the soil, which is full of nutrients and vital for growing plants, gets washed or blown away by what? By wind, rain, or human activities, then that is called as soil erosion. Why it is full of nutrients? Because it has humus, organic material, right? Vital means important for growing plants. Okay, what happens when this top layer of the soil, if it gets blown away by wind, rain, or human activities? You know how the wind can do this blowing away of the top layer of the soil. You can understand rain also, about rain, how it can do too. And how about the human activities? Okay, so we won't wantedly take off the top layer of the soil, right? In most of the cases. Then how will it happen? It is because of the other activities that we do, like cutting down the trees. What is that? Cutting down the trees. Okay, and what else? Overgrazing by animals. Okay, when you leave the cattle to overgraze, okay, then also it will lead to soil erosion. Why cutting down the trees leads to the soil erosion? I just wanted to uh, go into a bit more detail on this topic. Okay, so when you cut down the trees, you will cut it down from the roots, right? Roots are the structures that will hold the soil together firmly. They act as anchor. Okay, they anchor the soil. Okay, So in a way you always think that roots help the trees to stand, but it also holds the soil. Okay, you have to understand this relationship. The roots are helpful not only for the plants, but it is also helpful for the soil. And there is also other two-way relationship here. What is it? What did I say? Soil gives nutrients to the plants. So you think that, oh, soil helps the plant so much, but at the same time you should understand that plant also helps the soil, right? Because it fixes the soil, it won't allow the soil to get eroded. But when we are cutting the trees, this layer of protection for the soil is going off, right? And because of the overgrazing too, the same thing is happening. Okay. And what is the other thing? Poor farming practices. Because of the poor farming practices too, we are getting to the stage of soil erosion. Okay, what are the causes of soil erosion? Okay, this is just, I'm repeating it. Water, wind and human activities I have explained to you here. And why soil erosion is a problem? Tell me that. It is because there are loss of nutrients, because when the topsoil, what did I say, it is the nutrient rich layer, you remember, right? So when this is gone, okay, when this is getting blown away, then there will be loss of nutrients, and because of that there will be less the plants and trees will suffer, right, because of less nutrients. Okay, that's a repeated thing, like this will contribute to that and that will contribute to that. So it happens when soil erosion starts, it effects will get build up. Okay, when it erodes, plants have a harder time getting the nutrients they need. Next, reduced farming land. Erosion can make land less fertile, which means it's harder to grow crops. Okay. Environmental damage. Eroded soil can end up in rivers, lakes, causing water pollution and harming fish and other wildlife. Okay. This is about the soil erosion. Next topic is soil conservation. It means protecting the soil. Protecting the soil against the soil erosion. Okay, because of all the activities that we do, the soil is getting eroded, right? So we have to do something in order to protect the soil too. Soil conservation is the practice of protecting soil from erosion and keeping it healthy for future generations. Okay, what did I say? When you're saying that you want to keep for future generations, it means to make it sustainable. Okay, here are some ways to conserve soil. What are the ways? Planting trees and vegetation. So this is as simple as that. When you cut down the trees, it means that you are you are contributing for soil erosion, and when you plant more trees, you are contributing for soil conservation. Okay, how it helps? Plants, especially trees and grasses, help hold the soil in place with their roots. This prevents soil from being blown or washed away. Example, planting trees on hillsides or along rivers, anywhere. Okay, not only these places but anywhere. Terracing. How it helps? Terracing involves creating step-like areas on slopes. So when, see, this is a, consider this is a slopy land, right? When you pour water here, okay, when you pour water here, just think, the water will just flow like this. But if you put some steps here, what happens? The water has to go like this, and the water may stop here. So in the same manner, the soil sliding down the slope, if there are no obstructions like steps, it will be very fast. See, I think I have complicated the thing for you. So when the soil wants to go down, and if it is flat without any hurdles, okay, then the soil will go easily down. So there, it means that there will be more soil erosion. But if you put some steps here, okay, so there will be breaks, right? There will be so many hurdles here. So what happens? It slows down the flow of water and reduces erosion. With water goes the soil, right? That is the point of me saying about the water here and soil here. When there is water flow, the water will carry along with it some soil too. So what are the farmers in hilly areas often build terraces to prevent their fields from washing away. Why hilly areas? Because hilly areas mean slopy areas. And here you can see the image. You can better understand by seeing the image. Next is cover crops. How it helps? Farmers plant cover crops like grasses or legumes during the off season to protect the soil. These crops cover the ground and prevent erosion. So what happens is after harvesting, a farmer might plant a cover crop to keep the soil healthy and prevent erosion until the next growing season. So after the farmers are done with their work with the land, like after they are done with harvesting, they take off the crop, and then the land will lay bare, right, without any crops. Under these circumstances, what happens? This soil may get eroded. It may be blown away by water or by wind, right? So in order to avoid this, what the farmers do is that they plant some crops. These are called as cover crops, like grasses or legumes or something, so that this will hold the soil. Okay. After harvesting, a farmer might plant a cover crop to keep the soil healthy and prevent erosion until the next growing season. Next is contour plowing. Okay, how it helps? This method involves plowing the fields. Sorry for this. Plowing the fields along the contours of the land rather than up and down the hills. What did I say? I have mentioned about the slopes, and here we have put the steps, right? So then how about the plain lands? Okay, for the plain lands too, people do that. Okay, it's like they will go with the natural slopes of the land. Plain means it won't be totally flat, right? There will be some ups and downs. So wherever there are some ups and downs, they will just make this sort of things. Okay, so this method involves plowing fields along the contours of the land. It means that the natural differences that are present in the land, then rather than up and down the hills. When it is up and down the hills, what did you call? It's called terracing, right? So when it is almost like a plain land, normal, we are going with the natural contours, then it is called as contour plowing. It helps slow down water flow and reduces soil erosion. This we have explained. The same thing goes here also. Okay, natural curves of the land for the farmers. Now next is windbreaks. How it helps: planting rows of trees or shrubs along the edges of the fields can act as a barrier against the wind, reducing wind erosion. If this is the piece of land, okay, here you have all your crop. When I put so many trees here, this will obstruct the wind flow, right? So this area will be protected from soil erosion. Okay. Next is avoid overgrazing by the cattle. This we know because it's just the reverse. Crop rotation to maintain soil fertility. See, it is a good practice that you uh, put one type of crop at a time, and the next time you put another type of crop. Okay, so that the fertility can be better managed. Next is bunds or embankments along the river banks to prevent soil erosion during the time of floods. This bunds or embankments are the higher areas. Okay, so there will be river here, and this higher area is called as bunds or embankment. Next, soil erosion is a big problem because it can wash away the rich, fertile soil we need to grow food and support life. But by practicing soil conservation, like planting trees, using cover crops and terracing, we can protect our soil and keep it healthy for years to come. Taking care of the soil is important for everyone because healthy soil means healthy planet. Okay, so now you understood how important it is to protect the soil, right? Soil conservation techniques are so important. Okay, and in higher classes you will learn more about it. Okay, done for the day. Thank you all. See you in the next video. Bye.